Hey, everybody, I'm Leon Thomas, and you're here for another episode of NRG this week. I'll be joined by NRG President and CEO Mike Weiner. This is NRG this week. Thanks for watching another episode of NRG this week. I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. To learn more about all the great work that we do, check out our website, the Leon Thomas Group.com. And while you're on the web, check it out. I'm wearing a racquetball shirt. That's because I'm a racquetball coach at one of the largest youth racquetball programs in the country. To learn more about that, go to racquetballrevival.com. NRG Network Referral Group. The CEO and president is Mike Weiner. Mike is with us today. Hey, Mike, how you doing? What's happening?
Hey Leon, I am doing super groovy. How are you doing today?
I am great. Did you say super groovy?
Super groovy. I am in a great mood today. We got a lot going on with NRG and excited to be here with you at NRG this week.
Right on. And I am super groovy too. And one of the reasons I'm super groovy, we had our senior send off on Sunday at the racquetball program. Three seniors. One's going to the University of Maryland, one's going to Temple University, and the other's going into the United States Air Force. And they're all ranked in the top 25 in the state in men's divisions in racquetball, too. But it was a great day, great senior send off for them. And Baltimore County Council member Mike Ertel offered us some proclamations for the kids. And Council President Izzy Patoka attended the event and gave some great remarks about our program. So I am rocking high as well. Tell us, Mike, what's going on new at NRG that's got you so super groovy?
And I'm so excited about everything you're doing, Leon, with Racquetball Revival. That's great. So, as far as NRG, our speaker, our guest today, Gene Kuhn, is going to be on the speaker series that is coming up 1 week from this Friday, August 16th. And we're going to meet her soon. And the extravaganza is the fall extravaganza, Friday, September 6th. It is from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern. It will be on my Zoom number. We just got confirmation. This is why I'm super groovy. Bridget Hahn is going to be our keynote speaker. She will be speaking at 2 p.m. during the extravaganza. It's going to be talking about how to create profit for fourth quarter of 2024. We've got also corporate sponsors. We've got breakout rooms. We've got some amazing programs that are going to be announced at the extravaganza Friday, September 6th. It's not too late to be a sponsor. If you would like to do that, reach out to me at the website, my email, or my cell number. It's 443-756-9656. We're looking at having 250 to 300 plus people for the extravaganza. I am manifesting that. And that, Leon Thomas, is why I am super excited.
Well, with all of that info, I can understand why you are super excited. I can understand why you're super excited. I get it. Because I thought you were going to tell me you were super excited because of some sports related thing. I thought maybe we were going to talk the Olympics for a second. I thought we were going to talk some baseball. I thought we were going to talk a little bit of football, but we're not allowed to do that here at all. But you can just give me some hand signals. I mean, you're loving the Olympics. You're loving the Orioles, looking forward to
You
football season, etc., etc. But we're not allowed to talk about sports.
you mean we can't talk about the Ravens exhibition game on Friday or the Orioles slipping to second place, being a half a game behind the Yankees?
We can't.
You mean we
We
can't
can't.
talk about
We
any of
can't
that,
do
Leon?
that. We are not. We can't do that. So we won't do that.
Okay, we won't talk about
We
football
won't.
or baseball.
We
Two of my
won't.
favorite
Or
things
the
in the world,
Olympics.
beside networking
Or the Olympics. We won't talk about that
or the
either.
Olympics.
Here's
Yeah.
what we'll do. Here's what we'll do. Now, if our guest leads us down the sports lane,
Then
we
we have to
have
go
to
there.
be kind to our guests since, based on our pre show conversation, we don't want to get on the wrong side of this guest.
Was that a pregame show before 9 innings or before 4 quarters? Oh no. Okay, it was the pregame before NRG this week. I
It
follow
was.
you, Leon.
It
I was a little
was.
bit slow there on that. Okay,
And our
gotcha.
our guest today is Gene Kuhn. Hey Gene. Gene, how are you? Welcome to NRG this week.
Hi, Leon. Hi, Mike. How are you guys? Great.
Doing awesome, Gene. It's great to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for
Good,
having me.
good. So Gene, tell us about your business. Tell us what you do.
Well, I help small business owners. I teach them how to market themselves uniquely so that they do not have to compete so they have no competition. And when they do that, they stand out from the crowd. So that's exactly what I had to do when I bought two bankrupt businesses and I didn't have any money for marketing. And it was before social media and there was no lists. People didn't have lists back then, and I bought two bankrupt businesses and I had to figure out how to turn them around fast so I didn't lose the dream home that we had just bought.
And now you're
So,
telling others how to do that,
yeah, now I
teaching
teach other
others how to
people.
do it.
Yeah.
And Mike, did you say Gene's going to be one of the speakers at the extravaganza or
Yeah,
next
this is a
week or what's
really,
that?
I wanted to bring Gina on Leon today because in 9 days, Gina's going to be talking to NRG folks and guests. She is going to be our speaker in the speaker series, the next one coming up on August 16th. And I'm super excited. Jean's a great member. She's in our Illinois group. And Jean, looking forward to hearing you speak at that. I know you're excited about that.
I am very excited about that. I'm excited about the extravaganza. This will be my first extravaganza.
Oh, this will be your first
Yeah.
extravaganza.
Yeah.
Now, I remember an extravaganza in Pikesville, Maryland. And this was in the in-person days.
We
And
called them
Mike,
summits, summit and trade shows, the old name,
summit and
Leon.
trade shows,
Summit and trade
summit and
show.
trade shows. And
Yep, yep.
Mike couldn't calm the crowd down. He couldn't get their attention. What did you do, Mike?
I bring in the big guy, Gene. I need to bring in the Hoss of Hossettes, my friend, the one, the only, Leon Thomas, who actually is more boisterous than me, Gene. Can you believe that? He's got that energy. There's a Yiddish term, chutzpah. Leon's got chutzpah, and he was able to get that crowd silenced like remember Fonzie? He'd hit the jukebox and the women would come running. Leon would get that voice up, and there you could not hear a pin drop in the place.
That's awesome.
That's
That's
what we
awesome.
did. That's what we did. And I did all that without taking out a gun and shooting it up and going
Well,
with,
that just seems dangerous to do something like that.
without doing that. So, Gene, let's
Yeah.
get back to you. So, you help small businesses, right? Because
Hmm.
you had experience, right? You mentioned you bought two bankrupt companies and you had to do this. So, one of the things that I like to hear from folks that teach others how to do,
Hmm.
I don't like to hear the this is how you do based on theory. I
Right.
don't like to hear that this is what you have to do based on academics. I like to hear the story that I did it. This guy did it. This lady did it. Here's how they did it. But when you can lay down and say, you can give it all to us, your story, that's when people get it, right? When you're sharing yours.
100.
So give us a little bit of that story, not just a little. Don't tell the whole
Okay.
thing
All
because we
right.
want them to come. Go
All
ahead.
right. Well, listen, let me just start by telling you that I became self-employed on April 29th, 1985 at 8:52 p.m. And that was when the nurse put that very first baby in my arms, and I knew I was never going back to a job I hated. So I was just going to figure out this whole entrepreneurial thing. And I made every mistake in the book, and it only took me 28 years to figure out how to make money. So I am 40, no, I'm 39 years into my entrepreneurial journey. So I learned every single thing I know the hard way. So kind of like the school of hard knocks. So I had started several businesses. Some of them failed. Some of them were massive failures. Some of them were just little failures. And then I thought I was smart enough that I could just buy two bankrupt businesses because the price was good. And isn't that what most women want? They want a deal. And I got a deal on that first bankrupt business. And when I bought it, we had just built our dream home and I did not have any extra. I took out just what I needed to buy that business. And there was no money for marketing, there was no money for advertising, and I had to figure out how I was going to turn around this bankrupt business that nobody was walking into during the day. How was I going to turn that around? And I just started creating super fun things to do that made me laugh. And the more it made me laugh, it made me want to do more. And I think marketing should be fun and it should be easy and it should be fun for the customer.
Hmm. Right on. And so you turn these businesses around. At what point did you say, I have something here, I want to share it and help others? When did that start?
That started actually in 2006 when I turned that first bankrupt business around because I bought one in 2002. I turned it around within 12 months, adding 100K to the bottom line. And then 4 years later, I bought the second bankrupt business and did exactly the same thing. Within 12 months, I had turned it around and added 100,000 to the bottom line. And that was around 2006 with that second one. And then I decided, and they were franchises. And in our franchise group, there was so many franchises that were struggling. And I'm like, what if we did a little meeting here in Chicago? So I'm like, let's do a little meeting here in Chicago. I had franchisees coming from all over the country, and we had 50 people show up for the first meeting. And I just was sharing that with them what I did. They would share their ideas with with the group as well, and we all learned from each other. So I got ideas. I knew whatever I do for somebody else, I was going to benefit as well because I'm a really good student. And Zig Ziglar told me in 1990 that I can have anything I want in life if I just help enough other people get what they want. And he used to come to Chicago all the times, 2 or 3 times a year. And man, there was not a Zig Ziglar meeting that I missed. And he would do a whole day by himself. So I really have been practicing that for the last probably 34 years of doing it that way. So I knew I would learn as much as the franchise owners.
Hmm.
And we just started sharing ideas. But what I saw was is that so many of them were already past the uh, past the opportunity to help them. They were too far gone because the people who showed up at my conference when I put it out there to the whole system of how to help them, the only ones who showed up were the most successful franchise owners. And
Hmm.
that taught me something I will never forget. It's the people who show up all the time that are invited to conferences and meetings and places where they can learn things. The people who show up are always the most successful people. And the people who are not doing so well and struggling are the people who don't invest in themselves enough to show up so that they can get what they need.
Hmm. Hmm. Right on. And if folks want to get in touch with you, Gene, so that you can help them, you can have that initial conversation. How do they get in touch with you?
They can reach out to me at jean@jeankuhn.com.
All right,
Yeah. Or
that's
on my
Gene.
website, jeankuhn.com.
All right,
Yeah.
genekuhn.com. Got it. So
Yeah.
that's where you go to talk to start the conversation with Gene so she can share the story and help your business. Now, before we go to break, tell me this. How did you meet? my friend, my longtime friend, Mike Weiner.
Uh, there was a gentleman that I met at another networking group, and I can't remember his name, but he introduced me to Mike Weiner. And when I came there, I'm like, this is a group I could get behind. This is a group I'd like to be part of.
Hmm. And now here you are as an NRG member. And now you're on NRG this week with
Yeah.
Mike and Leon, and we're not talking sports at all. And we're just having a great conversation here. But here's
Yeah.
what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back from break, you and Mike will talk some about
Okay.
whatever Mike wants to talk about, as long as it's okay with you, because we learned before the show started we don't want to get on your wrong side. We don't, don't want to. We don't want to do that. Everybody's like, "What is he talking about?" We're audience. We're not going to tell you. It's just our little private joke. We're not going to tell you. But anyway, you're watching NRG this week. I'm Leon Thomas with NRG President and CEO Mike Weiner with our guest today, Gene Kuhn. We'll be right back after this short break.
Renting is everything. It's style at your doorstep, off the runway and into your closet. It's every trend you've been dying to try and every designer you've yet to discover. It's wearing it your way.
Uh,
Renting is everything. It's style at your doorstep, off the runway and into your closet. It's every trend you've been dying to try and every designer you've yet to discover. It's wearing it your way every time and making it count everywhere you go. It's never worrying about what to wear because something new is always coming your way. That's why renting is everything. New styles, top designers, all for a flat monthly fee. Start your subscription at renttherunway.com.
Slow roasted over hickory fire and pulled by hand. This is the way pit pork has always been done. Pulled pork lovers, rejoice. The smoky old days are back at the Smoke Shack. From the creative team that brought you the Browning Project and Dead by Morning comes a new thriller that will change the way you look at white-collar crime forever. Falling from the Sky.
Water. It's everywhere. We drink it, we bathe with it, we cook with it. Coffee's made with water. Toilets won't flush without it. It's used for washing clothes, dishes, utensils, pots, pans, floors, and our teeth. Plants and crops need water, animals drink it, and fish need it too. And don't forget, we can have a lot of fun in the water. Water. What will we do without it?
Welcome back to NRG this week. The commercials and videos you saw were all done, produced, voices, and everything by members of the Leon Thomas Group. So if we can help you, reach out to us. My email address is leon at the leonthomasgroup.com. Mike, take it away.
Appreciate it, Leon. Thank you. So, Gina, I'm really excited to have you on. You and I've gotten to know each other here. You are our next keynote speaker. So, we're going to be really heavily promoting this through social media. If someone sees the flyer about you and they decide they want to come hear you as the next keynote speaker on the speaker series, what are some of the benefits that you think they're going to get? You're going to be speaking for about 45 minutes. We're going to do a Q&A. It's coming up in 9 days, Friday, August 16th. I've never had anyone on NRG this week where they were speaking this close to it. So it's perfect timing. What are some of the benefits? Take maybe 2, 3 minutes by them coming and hearing you speak. What do they expect? What do you expect them to walk away with?
I expect them to walk away with 3 or 4 really good, solid, low cost, no cost marketing strategies that they could start implementing in their business immediately. It's exactly what I had to do, Mike, when I bought that first bankrupt business. I didn't know what I was going to do when I walked into there. I had never worked retail, right? And I had to come up with some really interesting marketing strategies that didn't bore me, right? You cannot bore your customers and be successful. So I I just started doing what seemed right kind of intuitively. So that's really what they're going to hear, little stories about that. They're going to hear how I turned around 2 bankrupt businesses, but the big thing is I'm going to be sharing the marketing strategies that I use that they can also use if they're willing to get out from behind social media for a little bit and actually meet people face to face.
Awesome, awesome. Now I'm very excited about that. We're going to be promoting that big time. You know, when you quoted Zig Ziglar a couple minutes ago with Leon, you know that's our mantra for NRG. You can always get
I didn't know
everything
that.
you want if you just help enough other people. And you know, I have a saying: turn off the TV, turn on your dreams. You and I are on the same. I think one of the reasons we resonate so well vibrationally, we're at the same level,
Mhm.
positive, upbeat. You know, we're not here to hear defeatist attitudes.
Right.
We're here to empower people. What's a good, testimonial? I love that you've turned a couple of companies around.
Mhm.
I know you've worked with individual business owners. What's one of your best testimonials where you helped a business owner? Did you help someone 200% ROI? Did you help them triple their revenue? Give us an example of one of your best success stories that you helped somebody out so that our viewers, whether they're watching this live, Gene, we're going to put this on NRG's YouTube channel. We'll be able to put it on Facebook, LinkedIn, but someone sees this in 3 years and they come to you. What's a good testimonial of someone that you've actually personally helped out?
Well, she's still a client of mine. She became a client of mine in 2020, and she is
Okay.
an estate planning attorney. So, what happened is when she started working with me, she was earning around $495,000 a year. And in the next 12 months, we got her up to $1,014,000. So,
Wow.
basically doubled her revenue from almost not quite 500,000 to just over $1 million in 12 months. But she was ready for it. She was willing to do whatever I asked her to do, whether she wanted to or not. And she's never looked back. This is 2024. She's going to hit 1.5 million this year.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Congratulations. That's
Thank you.
phenomenal. Phenomenal. So I know you've been with me not a real long time, short time. Um, Viewers out there, a lot of them don't even know what NRG is, or they've had a bad experience networking. You know, I blew your phone up when you jumped in. What would you say to someone that's watching this? They've had a bad experience in another group, or they don't know anything about networking. What would be your NRG testimonial? I want to focus on that, and then we're gonna jump back to you. But what would be your testimonial right now for NRG?
I would say this has been one of the more interesting and effective ways to network is with NRG, because the fact that you did blow my phone up with leads and not leads, but connections, right? With connections, people I didn't know. And I will say that really helped me a lot to understand that um, I usually belong to a referral group, right? So the leads coming in are hot referrals. This was different, but it was interesting, and it was how many people can I meet that possibly are in touch with my ideal clients, right?
Gotcha.
So I think NRG has some really great pieces around that. The whole thing is great. I'm not saying that it's not great. I'm just saying it's got some things that are better than a lot of networking groups that I've been to. I totally enjoy it. I love the fact that I can go to several different networking groups as long as there's no competing um, as long as I don't compete with any of the people in the group. I love that piece of it. I had a slow week, what was it, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? And I was showing up several different times, several different places in NRG just because my schedule, I don't even know what happened, why it was so slow. It's never like that, right? But I took advantage of all of the time that I could spend in there meeting new people. And because I did show up and no one else showed up, that led you and I to talking. And honestly, Mike, I couldn't be more grateful because it also led, because I showed up in networking, it led to 3 speaking opportunities right there that day in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I remember it was just you and I. We had a great talk,
Mhm.
and for the folks watching, we help you select the perfect group, and then as Gene mentioned, you can jump around from group to group. We're very flexible. You can always change your home group. It's not a big deal. So, I'm going to wrap up with one more question. I know you're going to be a sponsor
Mhm.
at the extravaganza coming up.
Yeah.
Where our goal is to have 250 to 300 people there. Um, I want you to share one tidbit about your company, one benefit from someone. They call you up, Gene. They've seen energy this week, and then we'll bring Leon back out. But one just tidbit that you can share with people right now that can help their business today, tomorrow. Don't give away the farm. Don't give away the whole house. Just one idea that could help people out, and then we'll bring Leon back. And I'm excited to hear you speak and also to be a sponsor at the extravaganza. But what would be one really good tip for our viewing audience?
To be able to state what you do in 20 words or less, to be so clear on your message, to be so clear on the person that you help, that there is no mistake how you help them, why you help them, and who you help, right? If you can do that, most people walk around all the time. You ask them who they or what they do, and they'll go on for 2 or 3 minutes. That's boring, right? If you can get your
Or
message out there in 20 words or less, you will own the market.
That's a great tidbit. That's a great bit of advice. So we're going to bring Leon back out. He was here a second ago. Hopefully he's coming back out. But no, Gene, it's been great chatting with you today. I'm
Thank
looking
you.
forward to these events coming up. And Leon, there you were here a minute ago, and it was like abracadabra. You wanted to be Doug Roy, the magician. Now you're back. So Gene, it's been awesome. I'm super pumped up. I get
Thanks.
to hear you twice coming up here soon, and I'm going to send it back in the studio as if I'm throwing a touchdown from the 20, 80 yards down the field to Leon. He's going to catch it and run in for a touchdown and convert the 2 points with the kickoff, with the 2 point conversion.
Thank you, Mike. Gene, thanks for being with us here on the show. And Mike, can you give us those
Thank you.
dates again when Gene's going to be speaking and everything else you have going on? Give us all those dates again, please.
Absolutely. Gene is going to be speaking Friday, August 16th from 12 to 1 o'clock Eastern. It will be on my Zoom number. And I bet Jay's got the Zoom number, Leon. Watch this.
You
It's
think Dr. J has the
367
Zoom number? You think Dr. J, our
333.
producer, has the Zoom number? Is that what you're saying? You're
I'm
saying
saying
Dr.
yes,
J has the Zoom number?
as well as the Ravens are going to beat the Steelers this year because we've dropped 8 of the last 9 to the Steelers,
Just
and that's
show
just
us the
bad.
Zoom. Now we're talking about
Three
sports.
six
Just show us
seven
the
three
Zoom
three
number.
three 9689. Jay just hit a 2 point conversion. There's the Zoom number. So come see Gene on Friday, August 16th, 12 to 1 Eastern on this Zoom, and come back and see Gene as a sponsor at the NRG 2024 Fall Extravaganza. That will be from 1 to 4 Eastern. Gene will be our sponsor, one of 7 right now, and it's going to be a blast. So you don't want to miss it. 7 for touchdown and extra point, not 2 point. Excited to have Gene there twice. So,
Oh,
Leon,
thank you.
those are the dates. I'm going to throw it back to Studio 54, Leon Thomas.
Right on. Thank you, Mike. Gene, great to have you here on the show. Gene, one final question.
Sure.
If you had to give advice to your 20-year-old self, what would it be?
You're going to be effing awesome in the end.
I
All
love
right.
that.
Right on. Right on. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Folks, this is NRG this week. Our guest today was Gene Kuhn. Gene, what's that website again? How do folks get in touch with you?
Jean Kuhn, KUHN.com.
All right, there you have it, folks. And that's Mike Weiner, the CEO and president of NRG this week. You can get in touch with Mike by going to nrg.online. You can email him. His email address is Mike. Oh, my producer's telling me to slow down. He's Dr. J is saying slow down. That's Mike at networkreferralgroup.com. You can also call Mike at 44 or text at 443 756 9656. Thanks again for watching NRG this week. We'll see you next time.